After the Patriots beat the Broncos and won the division on Sunday, Bill Belichick talked about resetting goals. So is now the time to verbalize new, loftier objectives beyond just beating the Jets on Saturday?
Nah. I mean, I think you guys know this week's all about beating the Jets. And, like I said, he talked about last year being in the same position, 2 games left, trying to play your best football to end the season, and us not doing it.
So will New England's new wide receiver, Michael Floyd, help the Patriots beat the Jets? He hasn't spoken with the media since arriving in Foxborough or since the video of his arrest was released.
That Michael Floyd video was kind of ugly. Had you seen that a week ago, do you think you still would have claimed him?
Yeah, we were aware of his situation when we claimed him. He's in an ongoing legal situation that I'm not going to comment on.
And speaking of videos, there's a lot of holiday ones this time of year.
Bill, it's been out a while, but somebody edited a video of you singing Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas at the podium right there. Have you seen it?
No, I missed it.
Oh, that wasn't a problem. I had the video queued up on my phone, so I showed him.
Yeah, yourself a merry little Christmas. Yeah, I'd say it's been edited, yeah.
True or false, Bill Belichick goes caroling every year.
Love caroling.
Mark Dondero, Eyewitness Sports. Yeah, Mike, Shannon, the 3 appellate court judges were not kind to Tom Brady and his representatives based on what we saw and heard in court today. Jeffrey Kessler, Tom Brady's lawyer, continuously grilled by the judges, which naturally left NFL lawyer Paul Clement very satisfied. Duke head basketball coach Mike Krzyzewski will be plenty busy this week in Providence, planning and preparing for the most important games his team will play this season. And while many Duke fans will pour into Rhode Island this weekend, one Coach K fan is a permanent resident and a longtime friend as well. Whenever an American sports icon like Duke head basketball coach Mike Krzyzewski comes to Rhode Island, we like to try to identify some kind of local connection. The reality is, though, for Coach K, he's not from here. He's never worked here, but he does have a connection here. In fact, a very strong one with Bryant head lacrosse coach Mike Pressler and his family.
Very, very friendly. 16 years during my time at Duke. Great supporter of our team. You'd see him at many of the home games. I'd have him speak to the team during the NCAA playoffs.
I mean, watch Coach K just light up at the mere mention of his buddy's name.
Question over here. Mark Dondero, WPRI TV here in Providence. Coach, Mike Pressler is a guy that you were a colleague with for a long time.
And the relationship has extended beyond the athletic facility and beyond the 2 men as well.
Our families were very good friends. His oldest daughter, Debbie, and my wife, Susan, were the best of pals. We saw Mickey a lot, so, strong affection for the Coach K family.
They're great friends. Mike and Sue are great friends. They were coaching at Duke, even the last part. I know Debbie has talked a lot to Sue. They were great friends, and just a beautiful family and a heck of a coach.
Heck of a student, too, because while Coach Pressler absorbed a lot while at Duke, to say the least, he did absorb a lot while watching Coach K.
During the offseason, before we got going, I would go and watch practice once a week. And just the volume of things from the coaching that I picked up from him and his staff and his team, and that we used on the lacrosse side.
It doesn't surprise me what he's done, because even since leaving Duke, he's been our national team coach for the U.S.
And for all of Mike Pressler's success as a head coach and as a recruiter, his most important commitment might not even know how to cradle.
They're just a great team, the 2 of them. Coach and his wife, they know what they're doing. So we love them.
Yanni, the Little League World Series is obviously about the baseball, but directly facing the complex's signature stadium is a hill. And outside of a bat or a glove, this may be the most important piece of equipment here in Williamsport. The cardboard box sledding on the hill in center field of Lamade Stadium has been around at the Little League World Series about as long as the baseball here in Williamsport. How many times have you yourself slid down that hill since being here?
Oh, I haven't been yet. I'm in the same position as the kids.
When are we allowed to slide down the hill?
As soon as the tournament's over, Sean.
Well, too bad for them. I need something better than this. I gotta go down. I gotta go down. All right, thank you. Thanks, man. I'll work my way up to that. Give me a minute. Here we go. Watch out. You go down? You go down head first? That's okay? Run and dive? What do you mean run and dive? I'm an idiot. All right, I'm standing up. Who knows how to stand up?
Hey, I did
80% you're
I
gonna
did
fall.
it a few times.
But you gotta know how to do it.
Yeah, I did it a few times and didn't fall. Then I did a front flip.
A front flip.
Because I fell.
Okay, that's not what we need. Give me some space. I think I'm gonna be fine.
Here it goes.
So how was that?
Thank you. Thank you.
So how was that? Did you feel good?
It was great. I just dominated that hill. Make a note. Yeah, I've been basically signing autographs since then. Corey, by the way, our excellent photographer, denied and declined any and all opportunities to go down that hill. I'm not saying he was scared. I'm just telling you what happened. Coming up on our late shows, we'll have more on Warwick North baseball on the eve of game day. Reporting live from Williamsport at the Little League World Series, Mark Dondero, Eyewitness Sports.
Mark Dondero inside the Garden. Mark?
Yanni, good evening to you. We know that Isaiah Thomas is the Celtics' best player, and so do the Atlanta Hawks. That is why in Game 5, they did anything and everything to make sure that it was somebody else who beat them. Well, that tactic worked because none of the other Celtics could step up and relieve some of the offensive pressure from a bottled-up Thomas. Now here we are about an hour and a half or so from tip-off in Game 6, which is a win-or-go-home game for the Celtics, and the C's lone all-star is telling his teammates how it's got to be if they want to keep their season alive. And Yanni, just a quick injury note. Thomas did leave Game 5 with an ankle ailment, but he is fine. That injury was not serious, and he will play tonight. As for the Celtics as a whole, well, they have a tall task ahead of them, because if they can win here tonight in Game 6, they'll face a Game 7 in Atlanta at a venue where they're just 1-8 in the postseason since 2008. Reporting live from TD Garden, Mark Dondero, Eyewitness Sports.
A Big Papi and a splendid Splinter couldn't sound more different, but in Boston, they belong in the same conversation. Is David Ortiz the greatest Red Sox ever, or even the greatest lefty? Probably not. But he's the greatest something. Clutch performer, ambassador, or maybe it's just that he had the greatest impact. He was the Tom Brady of free agent signings and the MVP of the most historic series in the history of Major League Baseball. He had ice in his veins, a big smile, and a bigger bat. And perhaps no athlete has ever been more comfortable putting an entire city on his back. He even had a soft spot for McCoy Stadium.
Yeah, it was very nice. It was very nice when I came down here. It was very crowded. It made me feel like I was at home.
The Red Sox aren't just losing their cleanup hitter or thump. They're losing a community leader who meant more to Boston than Paul Revere. After all, at one point, both men sent the bad guys essentially the same message.
This is our city, and nobody gonna dictate our freedom. Stay strong.
He launched so many home runs. He launched so many celebrations. How many people died happy because of David Ortiz? He'll play in one more postseason, but if he could play forever, I'm sure he would. If he could take a selfie with every Red Sox fan, I'm sure he would. And I can unequivocally say this is the only time in my life that I wish somebody could keep David Ortiz in the ballpark. So long, Papi. Mark Dondero, Eyewitness Sports.
It doesn't matter if they win, lose, struggle, or dominate. They just want a hot dog after the game. Their batting average is not nearly as important as their favorite dolly, and they are the ultimate example to adults that sports are supposed to be fun. That's why annually, over the span of 5 days beginning Monday, we highlight T-ball players. Big T-ball matchup in Rumford, Rhode Island between the green team and the red team. Let's get the gloves on the correct hand and go. That's William, and check out the play he makes here for the red team. Snags it, throws it to first, and his teammates, who are obviously fired up, go all three stooges on him. Later, it's Hunter Sherman driving the baseball, admiring it, running the wrong way, figuring it out, and later scoring. And after the game, we spoke. What were your impressions of the game you just played out there?
Ran the bases.
What's your favorite toy?
My bunny. I got a new bunny.
Tell us about your hair.
My hair has red and a little bit orange. It's pink.
Oh, it's a pink bunny.
Yeah.
Does it have a name?
It's Bunny Bunny.
Bunny Bunny. Do you have a favorite TV show?
Yeah.
Are you excited for summer vacation?
I'm not sure. I think you don't know it.
I might know it.
It's Emmy's busy. He has a lot of Legos and a lot of toys.
I love Legos. Good stuff.
I love Legos too.
All right. Mark Dondero, Eyewitness Sports.
I write hundreds of letters and notes every month. Doesn't mean I agree with every single thing that every person thinks about politics, religion, or other subjects. But I have multiple friendships that are important to me, and that's what that was about.
That was the head coach explaining his letter to Donald Trump before trying to shift the conversation to the Seahawks. Even Tom Brady didn't want to confirm his support for the president-elect.
Yeah, I talked to my wife. She said I can't talk about politics anymore, so.
Tom, can I ask you this way? At the end of the Seattle game, you let out that loud shriek during the interception. Did you do the same thing last night?
I was asleep.
Given the nature of this presidential race,
Seattle.
Did you find it?
Seattle.
Did you find it helpful to talk
Seattle.
to players?
No offense, Coach, but nobody really wants to talk about Seattle.
A lot of people in this region have good memories about the last game with Seattle. Could you tell us a story about some good memories you have with your friend Donald Trump?
Well,
Good fun experience.
yeah, well, I could do a lot of that, but really, we're just trying to focus on Seattle here, and that's just a huge game for us this week. It's a great challenge, and that's where all our energy's going.
Actually, one more quick question. When you came in, when we were asking about the letter, you said just Seattle, not even on to Seattle. Is that because this was kind of noise that you created and you wanted to just squash it?
This is where we are. It's Wednesday before Seattle. It's Seattle.
Mark Dondero, Eyewitness Sports.
Kim, thanks very much, and it was a bit of an adventure to get to this day with the snow and the rain out and all, but in just over an hour from now, the Pawtucket Red Sox and Buffalo Bisons will take the field on opening night, at which point Paw Sox manager Kevin Bowles will be very relieved that the spring is now over and that these games will count for real now, and he's joining me now. Kevin, thanks so much for taking some time pre-game here, and we were in the clubhouse earlier this week. A lot of fresh faces on your team this year. Give us a sense of, for the fans who may not know this team very well, who are some guys they can follow that may be making an impact at the major league level one day? Kevin Bowles, manager of the Pawtucket Red Sox. Kevin, thanks so much for the time. Good luck this season. Go manage some baseball.
Hey, great. Thank you.
Buckle up for this one. Undefeated Dartmouth hosting LaSalle in Massachusetts. A wild game between the two. Rams with the lead. Dartmouth uses a little razzle-dazzle. Cole Jacobson hands off to Nathan Ellis, and then he finds Miles Lenars down the field. That would be a touchdown for Dartmouth. The Indians, they take the lead back 26-20. Rams, though, not to be outdone, they use a reverse. All right. Let's check it out. Andrew Wright tosses to Sam Coleman, who hands off to Jake Ribeiro down the field. Rams, with that, would get inside the red zone and tie the game with this score. Raymond D'Oliveira, two-point conversion would give LaSalle the 28-26 lead. Last chance now for the Indians. Now they're going to line up for the go-ahead field goal. But watch what happens.
See what happens.
The snap here, is no good. However, Nathan Ellis doesn't lose his cool. He scoops it up, and then he finds Lenars downfield for the touchdown, and that will be your game winner. Dartmouth tops LaSalle 32-28. Go crazy, folks. Well, I can honestly say it's been a real treat to watch Mickey Mantle play baseball over the last month. I mean, during his 24-game hitting streak, Jackie Bradley Jr. has been legendary. And he continued his pursuit of Joe DiMaggio's 56-game hitting streak tonight against the Cleveland Indians. Am I getting a little ahead of myself? Probably. But in the second inning, with the Sox already up 1-0, it's Bradley Jr., and he will drive this ball to center field. It would be gone, make it 25 games in a row he's hit safely in, and his hometown of Swagville loves their native son. Now, my parents were actually at this game, so I sent a text to my mom to see how it was going, and she responded with, Buchholz, same as usual, out of the game. And that was one of his mistakes on the night. Jason Kipnis gets him for a 3-run shot, and that was the difference as the Sox lose to Tito and the Indians by the final of 4-2.